Okay, hold on, let me finish. I'm just gonna eat all this whole crisp. And then we'll...
That's fine, I'm just gonna eat this whole pack of hot dogs.
Hi and welcome to Video Namaste, the internet's most favourite show about films that's been filmed in a kitchen.
Yep.
And
pretty low on hums though, apart from the smell hum.
That should.
The
if this was brought
camembert.
to you in smell-o-vision,
In fact,
every
to
time
give you
Danny
an
opens his
idea, it's camembert. We keep a clean house here. How middle class did? Oh, it's fucking.
That's fucking bogging. That is.
Jesus
fridge
Christ.
smell. Like, I was thinking the other day, it was like, someone was on the telly and it showed a clip of 9.5 weeks, and you know the scene in front of the fridge. All I could think about is, sorry.
Yeah.
Imagine they had like an open camembert in the fridge, trying to be sexy. Well, that's... Fridge smell is the worst. You can't even be sexy in
I
front of a
like
fridge.
that folk have a wee lemon jiff in the fridge, just to be like, that'll smell like lemons.
It's not like
That'll last
a
forever.
bowl of bicarbonate of soda. Is that not another thing folk do?
Is it?
In the fridge?
I think you can brush your chompers with
Maybe
it.
it's
Aye.
or a bowl of vinegar, maybe. That kind
Bowl of
That's fucking stinking. And just fucking at
Get
me.
the second wave.
Aye,
It's like it's coming. I know. Sorry guys.
So
But just so you know.
so this is
Brought to you by smell-o-vision.
this is episode 2, real one of Video Namaste. We've done a whole one now. Hopefully, I think we're going to be a wee bit tighter this time.
That's right. Aye.
Hopefully, I'm sure you enjoyed the last one. If you didn't, if you haven't seen the first one, I wouldn't bother. Just stick with this one.
Hey, come on, watch it. There's some valid points made. That's fucking... Oh my god. I put a little work into that, thank you very much.
The theme for episode 2 of Video Namaste, what are we talking about? Danny.
We are talking about skint knee films.
Skint knee films.
Films featuring wains where they're genuinely in peril and they get a wee bit scared, and by peril I mean in the film the likelihood of them actually dying is rife.
It's not like they've went to the shops and bought £2.50 worth of sweets, but they've only got £2.
Aye.
That's no peril.
No.
Peril
It's
is...
mild peril. Gives you a PG.
Guess
Aye,
you're PG,
exactly.
that mild peril.
Aye.
A couple of heart flutters. Oh, imagine that was me. Oh, the black affront.
But it's the films that you loved as a kid that were like, you know, the kind of kids films that are not patronising.
Yep. Aye.
Yes.
Films that kind of like communicate the
sometimes-
actual experience of being a wain, and that is dealing with adult subjects and not having the capacity emotionally to deal with it, and that's what these wains are dealing with.
And sometimes swearing.
Sometimes
Sometimes
at
swearing.
each other. Wayne swearing like you did when you were wee. Swearing like fuck. See when maybe the first time you learnt the word wank, like everybody was a wank.
I remember being,
for that one month.
being obsessed with a joke about Robocop. Somebody about having a condom, and they gave birth to Robocop.
Oh aye.
It was like some lad he made it up, and it was like a guy had sex with his wife, and he had a wedding condom, and he gave birth to like a Trojan horse.
Right.
And then he gave her a condom made out of metal, and
Oh, is it like Trojan steel or something like that?
No, I don't even know. I think the joke, the punchline of the joke
Because
was
I know I use Trojan steel.
Magnum XXX. No, the punchline of the joke was
It's like
the
me wearing
woman
my
gave
dad's
birth to
jacket.
Robocop. That was the punchline of the joke.
Like a wee baby Robocop.
Aye.
You've got the right to change my name.
It's that, and that's why he kept eating baby food. It was like, I am not changing.
Imagine a wee baby Robocop.
No.
That would be so fucking cute.
That would be really cute.
Aye.
You
So
look
think
sad.
about it.
Oh God.
Imagine a baby Robocop, but he was able to drive the car.
You can't speak it.
I'll drive.
Every time he cries, it's just the noise of a Spectrum loading.
Dead or alive, I'm going for a pee. I'm way off my game here, folks.
So, unfortunately, Robocop Babies isn't a film that exists yet, so we can't talk about that.
There's no Robocop baby. They did market Robocop to kids though.
I think what you mean the cartoon or you mean the marketing in general?
RoboCop 3 and the cartoon.
And the TV series as well.
TV series.
Because the whole deal with it was like give peace a chance, a G-Pack thing, and like it's all Wayne singing the song. And the toy range,
and
fucking
bus drivers unite.
the weird time in the late 80s, early 90s when I was like, how's it going?
It's fucking aye.
Is it alright?
Not bad.
Cool. You want me to open the fridge again?
make me smell better. That fridge is showing me up.
You want smell, son? When there was like a toy range for an 18 film or something, it's like RoboCop was in that sense marketed at Wayne's as well.
I mean, I guess
Aliens,
was there just
Terminator.
an acceptance that we were all watching these films?
Exactly.
I think they knew. Like, I think we were like, what is it? The quiet demographic. Let's cry. Like they knew we were fucking watching it. Aye.
So we've chosen three films for the subject, and we're going to start with film choice number 1, which is Finlay's, and you're going for
Monster Squad.
What would you do if you saw a Dracula? I tell you what you'd do, you'd shite yourself. A Dracula, could you imagine? But here, what if you had a posse? Wolfman, a mummy, a Frankenstein, and a big fish. I'm giving myself a fright here. Woo! It's the Monster Squad.
If the Universal monsters were real and came back and tried to take over the Earth, who would protect them but a gang of children who are best pals and are obsessed with horror films and swearing?
But of course, that's what makes them equipped.
That's what makes them equipped.
That's how they know how to be the monsters.
That's it. It's because they're no like pandered to kids, and they're no like mummy's boys. They're basically like they grow up. The main character Sean, he kind of is grown up in a semi-turbulent home. His mum and dad aren't getting on, and like there's a few other stuff. But it's basically a film just about Universal monsters and kids dealing with them coming to their town. And it's a film to me that like I've grew up with Monster Squad, so I like love it. It's one of the comforting films to me, and even as a 27-year-old man. Are men 27-year-olds?
Aye.
When do you become a man?
If I seen you in the street, I'd be like, that's a man.
I mean, according to Facebook, you're not a man until you've got a styled tash and a big beard or some shit. I don't know, but
until you rip a vape out a window.
Like a chimney.
like there's a Black Sabbath concert going on in your house. So a 27-year-old man.
It smells. I was thinking about big vape clouds. They all smell like fucking cake or something. It's like
bubblegum.
Big badass smoke.
Yeah, baby, get fucked.
Tiramisu flavour.
Is that watermelon? Oh, he's delightful.
He's
His
amazing.
face says no, but his vape says aye.
Smells like a bucketeer in it.
Big hairy bikers and that smells wonderful.
I mean, we look like shit, but we wouldn't smell good. You know what I mean? These are our lives for nothing.
Aye, so a 27-year-old man.
So for me, for a 27-year-old man, if I'm especially feeling like lonely or if I'm feeling fairly low, I put on Monster Squad, and to me, it's lame as fuck sounding, but to me it feels like I'm way pals again because I grew up with them. But even I think as a first-time viewer watching it, you would get a lot out of it, and you would feel a lot of relatability to these characters because I always compare it kind of to the Goonies because it's almost the same. A group of kids going on a wee adventure, finding all this sort of fantastical stuff. But the Goonies, I keep saying to myself, like the Goonies is a film you would watch in the front room with your mum and maybe like some cousins. But Monster Squad is a film that you would put on when your pals were staying out and it was up late, and because like they swear, they call each other like jerkwad and like they fuck about and they're cheeky as anything, whereas the Goonies are a bit more light-hearted and family friendly.
Aye. And like I think one of the things that contributes to that is, I mean, that's I rewatched it. I only watched Monster Squad like for the first time about a year ago, and like it was great for me because the best feeling of nostalgia for me is not watching something that I loved as a kid, but watching something brand new, like to me, that was made in that style. So that, I got a lot of that feeling. But like when I watched it the other night, the thing that totally took me by surprise that it was co-written by Shane Black. Who was the other fella?
Fred Decker.
Who's the director, right?
Yeah. Aye.
And was it you said that Decker wrote the story?
Decker wrote the story, and Shane Black wrote the story a wee bit, but Decker done the main flesh of the story, and Shane Black done all the dialogue. So that's why there's like the conversations between like the two cops is like hard-boiled
Aye.
detectives, and even
Aye.
the conversations between Sean and Patrick, the two main boys, like that's kind of got a little riffing that reminds me a lot of like Last Boy Scout and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like,
no,
it's
totally,
actually-
totally.
Aye,
There's-
and like
there's a-
like that.
the henchmen as well, talking to each other in the plane. You know, the
Aye,
violence,
aye,
like there's tons of
aye.
stuff like Shane Black's brilliant for that, like giving the like, you know, the incidental,
just-
the
aye.
the peripheral characters like lines,
just
you know.
give, it's a nice
to make
little
it
bit of,
memorable.
It's like that
character
bit in Iron Man 3 when
building.
he's like, these
Aye.
guys are weird, and the henchman throws down his gun and fucks off. Like, it's fucking
Aye.
spot on.
Aye.
I'm depressed.
What for?
What do you mean, what for? I'm flying a World War II bomber with wooden crates in it and dead bodies. I should have a party.
Do they complain? Do they get airsick? Do they ask for more of the little almond things?
You're right. This is a great job. I'm really happy. I thought they were dead.
They are.
I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. Good. You do that. I'll stay here and make spooky sounds.
Aye, Fred Decker wrote the main thing, but the Shane Black story that was originally written was like huge. Like especially the opening was so expansive.
He was supposed to have like machine guns and a zeppelin.
Aye, it's like Van Helsing was meant to storm the castle at the start in a zeppelin with machine guns and that. Aye, like that would have been absolutely amazing, but this is like budgetary, they couldn't do it. But like special effects are by Stan Winston and Tom Woodruff Jr., who for people of that generation, especially Stan Winston and Tom Woodruff Jr., like famous monsters in the MC Etcher comics was their thing. So like for them that was basically a dream project, working on their own versions of the Universal monsters and getting to make them. And actually Tom Woodruff, who done the effects, played the Gill Man because
right.
they couldn't get anybody else to do it, and he was like, can I do it?
Was he no Alien as well?
He was Alien 3, Terminator, Starship Troopers.
Aye, and
So
aye.
he done the effects for all them.
And the good thing about like the actual creature design as well is they had to be careful not to mimic the because obviously Universal would be on their back and say, yeah, that's
Oh,
why
right,
the
so
Wolfman
it's
looks
like-
so unique.
Aye, like
and he's kind of like almost got like pointy
ears.
staffy ears.
It's like they says the Wolfman was the most difficult to make because they didn't want to make it look like the old Wolfman who's of his time, but they had to make it so it was a bit more kid friendly, so they kind of mashed them apparently with how Stan Winston looked and the Incredible Hulk. That's why he was like
yeah.
Josh.
Right.
And he's
Okay.
like kind of ripped out all his stuff.
Aye.
Like he's ripped out his
and
clothes.
it's Uncle Rico as well.
It's
the fucking,
Jonathan Grease, aye.
And he was in Faults the other night as well.
He was in
when we watched
Faults,
it.
and he also plays a werewolf.
The amount of times
Fighting
during
too.
filming these episodes, I'm going to go,
Totally, like I didn't realise it was him. I've seen that film like fuck knows how many times,
Aye.
but like I don't, it was only this time as well because
I can't eat.
you're right. You went.
We've,
The
yeah, again,
chalice
we've picked amazing foods to eat when we're talking. We've got crisps, we've got biscuits, and we've
And a
got
pint
A chalice of
Skittles.
Skittles.
a pint of Skittles. Ladies and jelly beans.
Well, the thing that's great about that film, or all films of that type, is like how seriously it's taken, like the art of the creature making, and how straight. Like, obviously, it's a funny film,
It's
and there's a
amazing.
lot of
There's-
humor. There's a lot of kind of spoofs of like horror film moments and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like the peril is real, the monsters are real. The Dracula plays it so well.
He's
Daniel, what's his name? I think it's like Daniel Raker or something like that.
Right.
He's one of my favourite incantations of Dracula. Like, I really love Gary Oldman, but he always stood out to me because it was pomp. He's pomp and he's slick, but he's
Something
also
quite
like,
gentlemanly about him.
He's very
Yeah.
he's very
well, that's the whole
haughty.
deal.
Like,
He
he's
needs
very,
to be
like,
kind of charismatic.
he's like really haughty, but he's also like he doesn't like look down upon the rest of his like monster brethren. He's the leader of them, but he doesn't treat them like shit. He's like
Aye.
we're on integral part to
But it's
making
like-
this plan come
That's a
together.
reflection of the writing as well, like you were saying. It kind of spoofs horror tropes, but it does it like in a nice kind of intimate, knowing way.
Yeah.
At no point seems like it's poking fun, and it's celebrating the kind of cheesy side of horror in a lot of ways.
Plus, I need to speak a lot about the characters as well, like the main characters of the Monster Squad.
Do you
because-
include Frankenstein in the main characters?
Absolutely. He's Frankenstein. Frankenstein basically gets converted to the Monster Squad because he's so like impressionable, but also because there's a purity inside him. And the wee sister Phoebe, who's part of Monster Squad, kind of includes him.
And he's like oddly the heart of that film as well, man.
He's absolutely amazing.
Tom Noonan,
It's funny because the way they introduce him as well, well, the way that he sort of, not the way the character's introduced, but the way that he's introduced to the little girl in the Monster Squad, is they do that Frankenstein moment of the little girl sitting by the river.
I was about to say
and
that,
like watching it for the first time, you go, oh god. And then it's like she's made pals with him.
Like I was about to say that, I was like, it completely does a callback to the original Frankenstein, like with the girl through the reeds and the long grass and stuff. And
it's definitely my favourite on-screen representation of Frankenstein. Like,
Oh, really?
with the bolts and the heat.
Big
I
time,
totally.
yeah.
Well, that was something else. It's like obviously like a way to get round staving off Universal, put the bolts in his head, and it's like we daft things like that. But it's great.
It is Tam Noonan, isn't it?
It's Tam Noonan, because there's like interviews with him talking about how much like he stayed on character on set. So like, see when Stan Winston hated him because when Stan Winston was doing his makeup, he would like follow Stan Winston about the set, calling him like Dada and all that, like as Frankenstein, and Stan Winston fucking hated him. So it's pretty good. But I like the thing with the Monster Squad is like they all have something to do. Like the Goonies, I always felt like there was like characters there that were just there to fucking moan, or characters that were a bit useless, whereas every single member of the Monster Squad, like Sean and Patrick are the leaders. Horace has a story arc where people keep calling him fat, and by the end he gets his confidence by being able to handle the monsters when the school bullies can't. There's Rudy, who's just the cool kid. Like, I wanted to be Rudy when I was younger, like, because he's like black leather, smokes fags, has a kicking bike.
He's so funny, he's so cool. Like, I just love him. Yeah, I love that character as well.
And like, there's wee Eugene and Pete, like the wee beagle.
Totally.
Like, they get drafted into the Monster Squad. And
was that a Little Rascals hark back?
Well, they basically says that the plot of Monster Squad is Little Rascals.
Aye, it had that vibe, and involving especially a beagle. Some shit. Is it not a beagle that hangs about the Rascals?
Possibly.
Anyway, it's a wee dog.
But wee Eugene's got like he's important to it because he sends the spoiler alert. He sends the letter to the army guys saying there's monsters here, please come. And fucking
written in
Pete,
crayon
and Pete
man.
the dog licks the envelope. Every single member has their own part to play, and they don't get treated like shit. And obviously Phoebe, the wee sister, who they reluctantly let into the Monster Squad because she finds Frankenstein and brings him in.
Man, and
she's
the relationship
What's
she
her
bonds
line?
with Frankenstein.
She has a wee line when she's standing holding Frankenstein's hand. She's introduced them. She's telling the kid. The other ones, she says something about.
She's like.
It's okay, you guys. He's friends with us. Come on, don't be chicken shit.
That's it.
Don't be a chicken shit. Because they all hide in bins and that. And she's great. And she, like, Phoebe is an amazing wee character. Like, she's funny, she's hearty as fuck, and she also gets like the most tear-worthy ending of a film ever.
Oh,
like,
man.
Like,
In a way, you don't expect it, do you?
Aye.
the ending of that film is nuts because it shifts for totally hilarious and in the same minute heartbreakingly sad. Like when Van Helsing's giving the thumbs up and like he's got a hold of is it Dracula he's got? He's like got a hold of him and he's like giving the thumbs up when he's getting sucked into the portal, and Sean's just like, alright. And then like it cuts and it's Frankenstein leaving, and like Phoebe's like screaming, nah, don't go, and he finally goes, but she throws him her teddy bear.
Aye.
It's like,
And he's fucking, he's elated as
and
well.
he's like,
"Ah."
I can't mind what he's saying. I think he's saying, Phoebe, maybe I'm sorry, but it's like, I greeted that every time. I watched it last night and I was fucking greeting.
We were because when I watched it with my girlfriend on Friday, and it's the bit where Frankenstein holds, where they throw him the Frankenstein mask, and he looks at, what does he say? He strokes the mask.
No, he says scary.
Scary, that's it.
Scary.
I know, you're lovely.
You're fine.
I know, and like his reaction as well when Dracula's giving him instructions to kill Wayne, he's like, oh.
I
don't know.
Just like in terms of the comedy of that film as well, it is completely transcended. Like it's no aged, and I still laugh at the exact same bits that I laughed at when I was wee. Like the science teacher saying, "No, is it the principal?" He's like, "Science is cool. I dig it, man." Like that's amazing. The bit where he says about his big sister, like if she's a virgin. And he's like, "You're not a virgin, are you?" Because I've got to get a virgin to read out the scripture for Van Helsing's book to open the portal to suck the monsters back in. And they need a virgin to do so. And they get his big sister to date who they believe is a virgin, but it turns out she's not. Because it's not working. And he's like,
Are you absolutely sure that she is...
You're not a virgin, are you? No? No, what do you mean, no? Well, Steve, but he doesn't count! Doesn't count!
There's hunters that just like, we hands like that, it just fucking kills me, man.
That's the thing that makes it great. It's like, you've got, like you said, it's Decker's story, and the story itself is just a good, like it's a solid, good monster story with kids, and then you just, all you have to do to make it, give it that extra edge is just give the characters really fucking great dialogue. There's no, it's not goofy. In fact, I'm trying to think of any goofy bits, but like in the action around, the action's all played.
No, like there's still some scary bits. Like the bit that scared me as a child is when Wolfman's on the phone and he's like, what does he say? He's like, he's coming for your son or something like that. It's like, that's scary.
And it's a great transformation scene too. Like he's just in the phone box and like it's just like, I think it's like 3 cuts and he's changed. I love that as well. It's just like poof, he's in and he fucks off.
But like even the Wolfman's trajectory, like when he eventually, spoiler alert, gets shot and killed, he says thank you, like he's free, he's in personal prison.
Totally. Well, that's another thing that, like, talking about the, like, you know, the skint knee thing. A Wayne kills a man, although he's a werewolf, and it kind of lends it to like a fantasy degree or whatever. It's still, it's like, you know, he shoots a man, but then you get the kind of pathos.
The werewolf thing all the way through the film. Every time he's a man, he's trying to tell everyone to stop him. He's like, look, I'm going to try, and everyone's like, look, mate, it's fine. But that totally taps into the kind of that's the thing that sort of thing used to scare me as a kid as well in films, when everyone's trying to tell you something, or one person's trying to warn everyone and everyone's like, look, don't worry about it. That's a total kid fear, isn't it? It's like, I've got something to tell you, and all the adults are like, look, it's fine, don't worry about it.
I like there's nothing in the closet and fucking
that's amazing. I was going to mention that. He's like, the dad opens the closet and he's like, right, wee Eugene's like, there's a monster in my closet, and he's like, alright, and then the dad opens the door without looking in it and he's like,
Ooh, look at that big scary monster. Ooh. Listen, you are not going to sleep with your mother and me tonight, so you can forget it. And keep this up, and you're not going to look at those monster magazines. Understand?
It's rammed full of just great stuff and like really great action sequences, like the jeep chase at the end with the mummy, and they end up using archery to like unravel the mummy, as the jeep's driving away, and like there's so much to play with, and they got so much of it right, like just
totally. Well, the big thing I think they got right was how they developed the already established like Universal monsters. Like they didn't really need to go too much into like something
there's like a wee bit of exposition at the start, like with the castle.
So you don't really like as a Wayne, I hadn't seen all the Universal monster movies at the point I watched Monster Squad. But like I knew specifically who Frankenstein and Dracula were. I hadn't seen Wolfman or the Mummy or that at the time, but I knew who they were. And that's the thing, it's like you don't really need to, but they really understand the characters, and like Frankenstein as well. Like as I say, he's my favourite on-screen version of Frankenstein. Just fucking nailed it.
They play really well on the tropes of the monsters as well. Like when they're initiating Rudy into the Monster Squad, they're like, "What's the 2 ways to kill a werewolf?" And he's like, "Silver bullet," and they're like, right, and he's like, "What's the second one?" And they're all like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "What's the second way to kill a werewolf?" And they're all just like, "Old age, kill him, run into him with a car, shoot him with a bomb," you know. It's
that kid conversation as well. It's like, what if you fed him into a giant mincer?
It's always the chat.
All that stuff. The character relations with each other are great. they make funny Fat Kid a few times, but I think that's to kind of bolster his ending, which is when he tells the bullies, "My name's no Fat Kid, it's Horace," and he cocks the shotgun.
Is the bully the boy for one of the bullies? Is the boy for the
Wonder Years?
Yes, it is. EJ. Aye, it is.
But I like Monster Squad. I wish I'd seen it as a kid because it totally like as a kid I loved Monster in My Pocket. And Monster in My Pocket had not just the toys.
Daddy's face is lighting up.
But there was the comics and the stickers. You had the video game as well, and the Monster in My Pocket.
Video game was so fucking good, man.
It was so good. And it was like they built up like a story with them. The story was that there was tiny monsters and they split into two factions, and there was like a whole thing around it.
No.
And like that, when I watched Monster Squad, I was like, Monster in My Pocket,
because
it was just a total fanboy thing of all the monsters being together.
My Pet Monster, like something. Well, like something that I think works is, see, even if you didn't watch it growing up as you did, right? When you watch it, like you've got fucking amazing shots. Like where is it Sean, the lead guy?
Lead boy with Stephen King Rose t-shirt.
Yeah. And when he's on the roof watching the drive-in, that map painting's so fucking
I love that bit. That's another bit that I kind of tear up a wee bit. Is when his dad comes out onto the roof with him and Huz shares the thing with him.
Nice, takes the bins.
But the way that film speaks to its audience, regardless of your age, is like it's something that's so hard to capture for, let alone a kids horror film, but a film like that in general where. I'll compare it to the Goonies again, but the Goonies to me felt like they were only speaking to me because, like, the house that I grew up in and stuff like that, and where I grew up, like, kids swore all the time. So, like, when I watched the Goonies, I was like, these are the kids that I can relate to, I don't feel them. But with Monster Squad, like, they say shit and call each other names, and they're wee dicks, but they're fun and they're funny, and they feel more relatable and real to me than, like, the rest of the Goonies. Like,
no, I know what you mean.
Aye.
It's one thing about them. So it seems to be a common thread with like a lot of these films is that the parents having trouble, or the parents split parents, or coming from
it's pure escapism.
It's good sort of escapism and wish fulfillment and
see, it's tough to get that kind of kids film right and understand like how to write a broken home from a child's perspective, specifically because it's an adult writing it. So like to kind of capture that mood, and that's something that I click with this film too. Like I didn't see it that often when I was wee, because it was tough to get a copy because it fucking bombed. It's like I think it got like 2 weeks run in the cinema first time.
They didn't know how to market it.
Exactly.
They said it was too scary for kids and too they thought it was going to be too kiddie for teens. So they had no idea how to market it. So they pumped a lot of the marketing into product placement, and like so you got like Monster Squad tumblers and Monster Squad like Adidas trainers, like adverts, like they weren't really related to the film, but they were doing it to promote the film because they had no other way of marketing it. So it was all like trainers that weren't in the film, but it was like sponsored by Monster Squad and all that sort of.
Did you see about the Night of the Creeps? That was Fred Decker's film just before, like the year before, wasn't it? It's like they run back to back, and there's a scene where a guy gets dragged out a toilet, and there's somebody's wrote graffiti on the wall that says "Go Monster Squad" or something along those lines. It's in the trailer as well.
Nice.
So like I knew that like I think it got greenlit just as they were filming it, as they were filming Night of the Creeps.
Right.
So like they put in that wee Monster Squad rules or something like that, and like they used it in the trailer as well, so it technically got a bit of promotion there too. But
I actually talking with my mouth through. It's also like it localizes the story to something that would be relatable to a child. Yet again, something that the Goonies did in the day. I know that I keep comparing it to the Goonies. They are quite similar films, and it's not really fair to do that. But the Goonies end up going on some fantastical adventure that big pirate ship like that you feel that you could never go on. It's in your imagination you would like to go there, but in reality you couldn't. Whereas the Monster Squad is located within their town, and there's no like secret tunnels and anything like that. It's like they're out cycling on the streets, walking about. They're walking for school. Like the town feels like a tangible thing.
I would say that with the Goonies, like there's up to a certain point. Because it's like you imagine a place that you live in and you see it all the time, and then suddenly you find this amazing. But you're right. I guess when you get to a certain point where they're at a certain point in the film, you're just
Kind of
like,
reminds me of E.T. in that sense, like because they Waynes know that town.
It's
and
like
all
opening a
films
book and
are
then
in that
realising that
town.
there's another fold out on the page.
Aye,
Like one of those things, you know.
That was good.
Oh, thank
I
you.
like that. So I'm going to use that in a conversation with someone when you're not there.
It'll be with Finlay, and you'll fucking forget.
That's one of mine, you can't you? But in terms of availability, Monster Squad as well. Like Monster Squad is fairly difficult to get to buy on DVD because there's no Region 2, which is where we stay. There's no Region 2 release as such, but you can get some Region 1 releases. Like
Isn't the Blu-ray Region 3?
It could be now, but for years it wasn't, and for years you couldn't get a good copy of Monster Squad.
No, it was just like VHS
But we might
Master.
have it now.
Hold that up.
But now you can get, but you can get this Monster Squad. It's Region 1, 2 discs, and it's got a feature-length making-of documentary on it as well. Aye, and it's
Sorry.
smashing, by the way. It's great, and it's worth your time, and I think you can get it for quite cheap now. If not, I would have a look out for that Blu-ray, because the old DVD that I had the worst VHS transfer on it, and after watching that remastered DVD, there was so much in it that I could see that I'd never seen before.
This seems like the sort of thing that like the Arrow should definitely get.
Yet again, it's Lionsgate, and I don't know how tight they are with their rights to stuff.
Right.
Because Lionsgate feel quite tight when it comes to things like that. But you never know, they might release it. But it's if no, just give me a shout and I'll give you a shout if you want. I'll just send it along to you.
The 5 people that are watching video now.
Hey, the thousands of you out there that are going to watch that.
And I think in terms of getting its reputation back up, I think I would buy it. I'm going to buy it. Like it's daft that I don't actually own that yet, and
it's
I'm
definitely worth
definitely going to buy it.
One thing that's happened to me. I mean, I know this is only our second episode, but special features. Like I used to be wild in special features, and I kind of fell away from them. And there's a weird thing that's happened over the last couple of months, and it's since they locked off Netflix, and how you know Netflix, you're stuck to your region again, and I'm just like, this is shite. Like I'm sort of going back to the bookshelf with the DVDs now and then, and then it's like you get to the end of the film and you bang on the special features. Forget how good
and
they
the
are.
fucking amount of effort that goes into that as well, man.
That like I feel like the special features starting to dwindle because of digital. Like even if you're buying stuff, I mean, I know if you buy stuff on iTunes, you get sort of little extras and stuff, but
the DVD and Blu-ray market is starting to become a collector's market, which is probably bad, but it's also good because the people that still put DVDs and Blu-rays out, like Arrow and 88, they go out their way to get new and good special features.
And
so
ensure that the transfer's great as well.
The transfer's great. So like when it comes to getting like film, like genre films that are coming out, you're always going to get sort of good special features, and I wouldn't like to see that die because some of them like are sometimes more interesting than the film.
Yeah,
you know.
But we might have a future episode where we talk exclusively about BTS stuff.
Maybe, yeah.
That'd be amazing. I'd be well up for that.
But I like the Arrow stuff. I was in the shops yesterday with a couple of pals, and I was like, the amazing thing about the Arrow stuff is like, you look at films that you wouldn't even. Like I'm looking at the films and going, I'd probably never, like, or I've seen that film
like
and I didn't
Zardoz.
enjoy it very
I would
much.
never ever have
but you're
thought
looking
of owning
at
it.
you're looking at this incredible cover, and you're going, I kind of want that.
They get good artists, they get good people to make the special features, and it's always interesting, especially if you're a genre fan. Like you get spoiled quite a lot with Arrow and 88 special features. I'm going to round up this episode, this reel of Monster Squad, by doing a new thing that I'm going to call. I've found the 10 best keywords for IMDb about Monster Squad, and I've written them down, and I'm going to tell you them. He's ready to hear?
I'm ready.
Aye, prep.
Police officer neck broken. Vampire driving a car. These will happen, by the way. Incantation. Child with a gun. Kicked in the crotch. Spit take.
I want to see the kicked in the. Do you click on that and it brings up a whole bunch of films?
What?
Kicked in the crotch.
Kicked in the crotch.
Yes.
Aye.
Okay.
Spit take. Exploding body. archery, product placement, and number 10 is pie. So that's your keyword roundup there, folks, for Monster Squad.
I'll have to say my favourite's vampire driving
Driving
a
a
car.
car.
Aye. There's the channel name, sorry. I'm fucking serious.
Yes.
I might
That's
look
great,
down
because you would be like, what's that film where a vampire drives a car?
Aye. Oh, keyword that IMDb. Oh, that's my dad calls it IMDb. Where'd you get that for, Dad?
I am BDSM.
Anyone that watched episode 1 of Video Namaste will notice that we screwed up the feedback section a wee bit. So
Just a big bit. That's fine.
it's fine.
That's why I was like, thank you. Thanks.
Just say we Tarantino'd
We
it.
literally ran out of batteries.
We Tarantino'd it.
We ran out. No, it was tape. Well, I say tape. We ran out of card. We're
No,
like,
we ran out of tape.
We ran out of
we ran out
tapes.
of tape. Aye.
We ran out of many DVs.
So we're tightened up a wee bit. So we want to talk about. We're taking it to Twitter, to field some of your questions.
Question number 1 is from @MechaGamezilla, our good friend Owen.
Hiya.
Did the Pagemaster successfully convince an entire generation of children to read more simply by being a rubbish film? The only thing I can say about the Pagemaster is one of my pals for college still used his Pagemaster beach towel, and this thing was fucking haunting. Like, see when you look at your own house coat, you think, well, that's comfort. See when you look at other folks' house coats, you're like, like it's like it's made out of
It's far too intimate.
It's made out of like
it's like another
bin
layer of
sauce.
skin.
It's
like
not got
bin-
edges anymore. It's just a
Just like that. It's like an entity.
It's something that only you should know intimately.
Aye. Like it's alive, it's breathing, it's the same thing. It's got the same organs. That's what his Pagemaster towel was like. It was all bleached out, and Macaulay Culkin's cartoon face was all fucking, and there was like holes in it and that, and it's like, see when he was like drying himself, it's like, oh mate,
What?
that's like a shitty
How
old
many
rag.
situations were you in when you watched your mate dry yourself? I think there's something going on here, man. He invited you around, like, always just come out of the shower.
Just, he
I think
dismantled
so.
his door. He just,
multiple trips to Bubbles in Livy.
You ever get off with anybody in Bubbles?
no.
No, you're bad.
I like to see the bit, the wee rapid, the wee river rapid at Bubbles.
Bubbles
Like-
is like a leisure pool.
It was like a local leisure pool with a wee rainforest section and a wee bit of a rapid. I liked when the rapid water whooshed up my balls. It was like a wee.
I've got a wee story about Bubbles. An old mate of mine used to work there. He was one of the lifeguards, right? And whenever they wanted to finish early, it was usually on a Friday, it would shut just that wee bit too late. And there was a fucking Wetherspoons right across the road for them as well, so they're all fucking itching at the end of the shift. And when he wanted everybody out early, he'd chuck a Snickers in the river rapids, and it would look like a big shite doing the rounds. And everybody would be like,
A big Kevin and Perry on a bit of fishing wire.
Caddyshacked it.
Yes.
Oh, if I worked, I can't like when I think to myself, if I worked in Bubbles, I'd be like, what, I get in the pool constantly.
looking after nut.
There, wee man. Dare you drink it? Dare you drink it, wee man?
No, shouting dare you to drink it as he's cannonballing in the shallow end.
I'll give you a packet of Skittles if you drink that water. My lifeguard's dead weird. I'm bored.
And you can't blow your whistle right either. It's just like,
That's one nostril. Drink it.
Instead of blowing a whistle and just water comes out.
vape.
Is that tiramisu?
Also,
Have you been around tiramisu vapors? That's twice you've mentioned that.
I think we've got a platform to launch. It's going to be fucking vape guys that get back to us and sponsor us. That's just going to happen.
God damn, bro, we fucking hate you.
Have money.
Where did you get this tiramisu? I want in on that.
So I own...
Video Namaste fucking vape, but it tastes like fridge smell. Yeah, bro, got this. Oh my god!
Did somebody open a cabin bell? No, it's just my new fag, my new e-fag.
I'm gonna hack your e-fag.
Fucking hell.
Imagine hacking an e-fag.
I like, but on a sneaker screen.
So the smoke came out like zeros and ones, like binary. But if you could read binary, by the way, that says go fuck your mom.
It's a vape burn.
I'm just imagining Neo like reading some code.
Wait,
Back up a second. That face when he sees that cat twice. Here is that, right?
That says we've run out of messages.
So in short, Owen, probably.
I can't mind, mate. Sorry.
It probably spurred them on to play the even worse Page Master SNES game. Did you remember?
Oh fuck no, I played that.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Number 2. At Zumi Ramen.
Anime dad.
Anime father. If you could have a director of your choice, dead or alive, to remake one of your favourite films, who would it be?
Oh God.
I was thinking about this and I just thought of Tim Burton doing JFK.
Right.
It's just like Kevin Costner, like, just fucking stewing. A tree smashes in the courthouse window.
Like where
A berry starts speaking.
that Willy Wonka or Bob. Try to beat it back and to the left.
The magic bullet theory, but instead of zigzag, it's just swirls.
Christ, imagine the design of the courtroom.
Turns out it was the actual grassy knoll. Like a big grassy hand with a gun.
Grassy Knoll, is that not the boy for Ain't It Cool News, no?
Fuck it all. Get it fucked. That's rating. Grassy knoll.
Right, you're getting the fridge. I was thinking about this today, and I love Friday the 13th Part 3, right? It's brilliant. It's a great film. And I watched it a wee while ago, but I couldn't watch it in 3D, so it was fucking unwatchable. So I just watched it in 2D. And something really interesting happens in that film where all the great stuff is just incidental. It's not. It's like, you know, it's just, it happened by accident. And one of the things is, watching it in 2D, everything's dead intrusive because it's shot for 3D, so everything's dead pointy and it's coming towards you. And like for a film about a guy chasing you with a machete, that kind of lends to the themes nicely. And like a lot of the characters have absolutely nothing to do. The dialogue's shocking, but like I love the film, so a way to kind of improve on that, I think, would be to remake it, but like, you know, like a period piece, like set at the time, and it's almost the exact same format. Like, so it picks up, the start of Friday the 13th Part 3 is it picks up where 2 ends immediately, and in fact even jumps back a wee bit and you're caught at the end, then it starts again. And I think it's a great way of getting into the fact that like Jason at that point, he's not got a mask or anything like that, so this is like his inauguration, the third film. So like I think it's important to focus on how he gets that mask, because it's all about his identity. And they don't, again, it's just circumstantial. Like, you know, he just like happens to get a guy that's like playing pranks on everybody, like pretending he's dead all the time, stuff like that. It scares them with the hockey mask, and then Jason eventually gets a hod of that, and I'll like that character who has nothing to do and is just a bit of a dick. Like, I think in order to make him more interesting, you focus on him being integral to like Jason's identity, right? So he's the main guy. He's forever playing pranks on people, and the tragedy of his story arc is that his final prank before he dies is going on to kill thousands, like, you know, potentially of people. And so you've got a wee story arc for him there. But I think like the music for Friday the 13th Part 3 as well is the best, and it's dead like
I can't get on board with any of the music for the Friday the 13th.
No, not even the third one.
I fucking hate Harry Manfredini's scores.
Oh, right. See, the third one's like, it's like it's dead kind of playful and sinister, like almost like disco music. It's the weirdest thing, but it's like it's kind of got like a wee cheeky wink to it. Right. And if the film kind of captures that spirit, it'd be great, but it just needs to be a bit more light-hearted. So I don't know exactly who you would get to direct it. Maybe the boy that directed Deathgasm. Somebody's got an idea of comedy. The guy that directed The Final Girl, as well, or Final Girls, sorry.
Aye.
Like he's got comedy down, but not make it an outright comedy, just like, you know, still make it fun and like just put more details into the characters and that as well. I think that would improve it. So for that, Friday the 13th Part 3, directed by the guy that made Final Girls. Aye.
Let's
brilliant.
just call him Larry the Big Dick.
I see you're completely convinced by my pitch here. Nice. So like I am like, don't call you kind of thing.
I'd quite like to see J.J. Abrams' take on Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Fuck off! You just hunt it, yeah? You hate when folk bring it up, but then here he goes. Johnny Digsworth. Nah, I was only joking about JFK. I would probably, I think I mentioned it to you before, Danny, about how the Beetlejuice remake, I think I'd quite like to see Richard Bates Jr., the guy that directed Excision and Suburban Gothic, do that, because his take on, especially in Suburban Gothic, of suburbia was pitch perfect. And I think with a wee bit more money and somebody with a wackier art direction style could really do Beetlejuice justice, but instead I think they've just gave it back to Tim Burton, which is a big fucking fart in a jar now.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay, so it's time to bring Reel 1 to a close. So we all enjoyed Monster Squad very much.
Greatly so.
We would all recommend that you'd watch it. What rating would you give Monster Squad?
What are we talking? Well, how do we do it?
I don't know.
Like the fucking...
How many
the heat teacher. I dig it, man.
Absolutely, I dig it, man.
Also, just out of frame is my denim jacket, which has a huge Monster Squad patch on it.
If maybe you disagreed with us, maybe you didn't like Monster Squad, maybe you have another suggestion, maybe you just like the look of our faces.
Maybe you want to tell us you fancy us and you want to buy us handles of food.
Maybe you want to ask me if I can ask Danny to get half of your pal.
I'll nip your pal.
Will you nip my pal?
But only for a packet, a chalice of Skittles.
Drink them.
You can find us on Twitter.
Yep.
Danny is...
At Lurpak Shakur.
And Finlay is...
At Anti-Bloom.
And I am at Laszlo_Panaflex. And we are all...
At Video Namaste.
At Video Namaste.
At Video...
Join us soon for Reel 2, where we're going to talk about Attack the
Up your
Block.
kill.
We're going to talk about Attack the Block.
Block, yes, it's going to be great. Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers, bye.
I dig it, man.